What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys another video on the FBI and DOJ and how obvious they make it that they are extremely corrupt and in the pocket of Joe Biden and all his little Democratic allies. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. GOP lawmaker tears into U.S. justice system over political gains. Such as, going after anyone who doesn't agree with Biden and all his little friends.
I want to thank all the witnesses for being here today. We appreciate you participating. It's amazing to me that the American people have any faith left in our criminal justice system at all. News from earlier this week definitely didn't help.
Well, more than half don't, so.
In the case of Mr. Informants. Yet it's hard to talk about anything other than the elephant in the room, which I believe is the two-tier justice system. Just yesterday, the Judiciary Committee heard from John Durham. And I think in many ways it confirmed the FBI and the DOJ are corrupt.
Oh, yeah.
And they're willing to go on political witch hunts on certain political parties, even if there's no grounds for doing so.
Mm-hmm.
We all know about the double jeopardy clause, the Fifth Amendment. So, Mr. Tolman, I want to hear from you on this. Could re-prosecuting someone after they've been granted clemency be viewed as a double jeopardy issue?
Especially in this case, I would say you're going to have arguments that technically it might not apply because the jury didn't reach a verdict, but the jury was impaneled and the trial did occur on those same counts, and the judge clarified that he was sentenced on the counts he was not convicted on.
Thank you for that. Hypothetically speaking, and this is for any of the panelists that would like to answer, if someone were to fail paying $100,000 in taxes and own a firearm,
Hunter Biden.
When they're a known drug user, would that person serve time in prison?
Yes.
Having prosecuted hundreds of those cases, I'm not aware of any instance in which a diversion would be granted under DOJ policy, and I reviewed several thousand similar cases and did not see diversion as an available option from DOJ, and each one served on average of 39 months in prison.
So that's a yes.
If I could speak to that.
Absolutely.
I don't have an answer for your question because I don't have the data, but I think that's a problem too.
Mr. What?
That we don't have good
Unsler?
data
What's your
about
fucking name?
the way pleas are negotiated. They're national. I've heard this discussed. I heard some of Mr. Durham's testimony, and I know people have strong opinions about what's normally done and what's not, and it's all over the place. And that's a problem. That one of the things that has been mentioned is the Fixed Clemency Act that was brought last year. Section 7 of that act would require a report on U.S. attorney charging and plea practices to be made. And I think it's high time to do that, because when we discuss things like this, it would be great to know what's actually being done in the shadowy world of plea agreements.
Mr. Osler, as I was having hearings throughout the district.
Exactly to that, because it's like, normally, right, how a plea agreement happens. When someone comes up with something like that, such as, okay, whoever is going after a said individual, they go, okay, hey, we'll give you a plea deal. You give us this, and this, and we'll reduce your sentence or whatever, right? That's normally how it goes. So then it goes, what information does Hunter Biden have, or what is it that they're trying to get from him that would actually give him the kind of deal that he got? Because he didn't get charged with the guns. He didn't get charged for the drugs. He didn't get charged for illegal possession of a firearm, or even using a false ID, false freaking SSI number. None of that. No, he got hit with tax evasion. Fucking tax evasion, which is bullshit. Because the beginning of this, like they were saying, if anyone else, like you or I, right, who refused to pay our taxes or lied on tax forms, who filed and filled out a form to actually purchase a gun and lied on said form, we would do the maximum of 10 years. We would be charged, fined for $250,000. And then, not only that, do time for the tax evasion. And we do time for the drug use, and the hookers, and everything else. So it literally goes to what kind of plea deal did they give him just to hit him with tax evasion? I, in my opinion, believe there was no plea deal. It was just simply, oh, hey, you know what? You're the son of the big man. We work for the big man. He has either information on certain kind of back dealings and or maybe some naughty things with children or, trafficking of some kind. Because, needless to say, we can't trust anything Biden says. The dude already admitted to selling state secrets, so this dude should be impeached. And I mean, the fact that the American people aren't really voicing their opinion as much as they should be is extremely alarming to me. Extremely alarming. How complacent the American people are and how they have not said or even done anything about it. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there spreading the word, informing people, because you can't trust the media no more. They've proven every media source, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all the big news companies, you cannot trust because they get their money from big corporations that are controlled by the Democrats. Not only the Democrats, but other people like George Soros and other people who are buku billionaires. Okay? So it literally comes down to what is going on with this corrupt crap and how have these people not been removed? Period. And the funny thing is, they're still trying to go after our guns. They're still trying to limit access to the American people to own firearms of any and all kinds, with them raising the age of purchasing a firearm, but yet you can still sign up for the military at 18. Bullshit. They should lower that age. You should be able to buy a handgun, any kind of gun, period, at 18 if you could sign your life away. Okay? You should be able to smoke a cigarette, drink a beer, if you can sign your life away at 18. Okay? If you're legally an adult at 18, like how a lot of different, laws state, well, then guess what? You should be able to drink a beer, smoke a cigarette, all that kind of shit, right? But still, there's no plea deal in my opinion. I bet it's just because Hunter Biden and Joe Biden have information on the head of the DOJ, the head of the FBI, the head of the ATF, and all this other kind of people, which is why they're doing absolutely everything that they're ordered to by Joe Biden and his handlers. Because there's no way, shape, or form that if this was anyone else, it would have been done. There would have been no questions asked. It's like, oh, okay, we have the evidence. We're going to trial. You're going to prison. Done. But nope. Because it's Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and several other people who work for them. They're tiptoeing around the subject.
Last year, one of the big concerns of people was a weaponized DOJ, a fear for speaking up and being targeted. Mr. Berman, would you like to try to address the question as well?
Sure, I'm very inclined to agree with Professor Osler that we need much more data, particularly in tax setting. It's such an example where there are just so many laws that enable prosecutors with completely unregulated discretion. Should I pursue this as a civil matter? Should I pursue it as a criminal matter? And it's entirely appropriate that there are people concerned that that choice will be influenced by factors that shouldn't be relevant to the operation of our justice system. I think the lack of transparency.
See, that's where the creation of so many laws is just asinine.
Across the board really contributes to an understandable and I think sort of highly problematic concern that it's only the wrong factors that are shaping prosecutorial discretion. And then I will, say that this is part of the concern I have with DOJ more generally is they then will defend themselves on in particular cases and say, no, only the right factors were here, but without a record, without all the data that we need to make those judgments, we have to take their word for it when we can't sort of see the work.
And so these are the charges for Hunter Biden, and we all know he got a slap on the wrist. But a while ago,
yep. What was I saying? I said the same thing.
That he said the reason is Mr. Esformes got a pass was he was white, he was wealthy, he was well connected, and had direct contact to the president's desk.
Yep.
Do you think in some ways Hunter Biden got a pass because of what?
And that right there should piss off everyone in the country. This is where I literally highly suggest that people come together whether it be on social media or something, somewhere, right? Everyone come together and come to an agreement of, you know what? Hey, they want to fuck around. Let's find out. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, just don't go to work. Hospital workers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, freaking retail workers, security guards, police officers, everybody in this country need to unite and say, if this does not change, if our president does not step down, along with Kamala Harris and every other corrupt piece of shit politician that there is, if they don't peacefully remove themselves, we will do it for them, because that is what the Bill of Rights was set up for. Period. They want to sit there and try to rewrite our Second Amendment of, oh, well, you know what? It wasn't written for futuristic guns. It was written for, the black powder guns. No, it wasn't. It was written to mean that we, the people, the American citizens, are allowed to have and maintain the same type of military arms that the military have, whether it be automatic rifles or anything. But that is exactly why the United States government makes tanks, planes, ships, and I mean carriers and all that kind of stuff, so exuberantly expensive so that average everyday citizens can't own it. Because there were people who did own battleships way back in the day. There were people who had tanks. There were people who had cannons. There were people who had mortars and all this other kind of stuff. It was perfectly legally allowed for you to own it. And it still technically is. But they like to create new laws and new rules and all this other kind of bullshit to make it harder for people to actually own it, because they know that if we were to stop nitpicking and infighting with each other, we would go after them. And that is why they're trying so hard to remove our guns, because they are tired of playing softball and they want to take supreme control like how China is, or Russia, or many other communist countries that completely are a dictatorship. There's a reason why people who come from communist countries come here and they like it here, and they call all these Americans who are like, oh, communism is good, communism is good. They're looking at you like a bunch of idiots, because it's not good. The concept of, oh, everyone has everything equally and all that, that concept is a great idea. But having one person who has supreme power, that is easily corrupted. Easily. There has been no country that was communist, period, that was a fully functional, peaceful country. The people are miserable in those countries, which is why they try to run away here to our country, because we are freer than they are. Period.
They're accusing Mr. Esformes of having. Anybody willing to answer that?
The only thing I would say is there should be outrage among especially inner city prosecutions that have occurred by DOJ for the similar gun charges, for example. Diversion is not an option. And if you're not Hunter Biden or you have the Biden name and...
See, there's a song that Tom MacDonald did, which is Brainwashed, right? Great song, and it's a perfect example. And one of the part of the lyrics is basically saying how they are afraid of us, which is why they purposely have us looking at skin color, religion, and all these other stupid ideologies, right? That's why they keep the people divided. Because if the people were to be united, we would have one common enemy. And we all do have one common enemy. And that is the government right now. The government is purposely trying to make us fight each other so we don't pay attention to the bullshit they're doing.
Or you have money or resources, it goes to the heart of what I think the professors are saying too, is a justice system that is geared towards favoritism and now towards politics more than it is towards justice and fairness.
So true, Mr. Tolman. I'm running out of time, but as we think about blind justice very often in those scales, we see the statue. The terrifying thing for me, for the American people, is when it's laser focused on political opponents. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.
not even just political opponents, but anyone who, sits there and believes in freedom for this country. It's not just political opponents. It's parents who are conservative. Anyone who's conservative is enemy number one to the left or to Biden and to the Democrats, period. Like, they literally had people over in New York City butt-ass naked, waving their dicks and titties in front of children. I can remember that was not allowed. Like, even in California, one of the biggest, gayest places ever that accept gay people ever, right? Which, this is 2023. No one gives a shit if you're gay. Okay? No one gives a shit if you're trans or any of that other kind of shit. They don't care. They really don't. All they care about is leave the kids alone. Don't sit there and try to brainwash people and going, oh, well, you know what? They're trying to keep it away from you. No. Most people start exploring their sexuality in their mid-teens to young adult age. And that is when they should be freely allowed to explore it themselves. 16, 18, whatever. If a 16-year-old goes, I think I'm gay. I'm going to think about this. I'm going to, research this a little bit. Okay, go for it. 16 to 18. They're going to discover whether they're straight, gay, bi, trans, whatever. Right? They should not be transitioning children who aren't even hitting puberty yet, which they have been doing. And the thing is, those puberty blockers are making children weaker. They're making their bones more brittle. They're making them more mentally unstable, which is also another reason why we have so many mass shootings. They want to sit there and blame white people or, conservatives or anything else like that. When in all actuality, all the people who've been doing all the mass shooting have not been white supremacists. No. They've been either non-binary people who are on the left style of opinions, the people who are transsexuals, people who feel like they are being picked on or anything else when no one gives a shit. But they're being told by the government, they're being told by groups of people that no one likes you because you're this. No. It's not because you are what you are. It's because you lie. And then you try to force people to sit there and follow your lie. And that's just it. If you don't want to be forced to be conservative or straight, why are you trying to force a whole other group of people to do that? When all we want to do is exactly what you want to do. Be ourselves, right? That's all most people want, is just to be left alone, to be accepted for who they are and what they are. And most of these people who are transsexuals or gay or bi or whatever, if they truly accepted themselves, they wouldn't have to lie about, yep, I was a man once and I am now a woman. Or I was once a woman, I am now a man. They would not have to lie about it if they fully and truly accepted who they are. You know what I mean? No one cares. All we care about is stop trying to force feed it to us and make us think how you think. You don't see us doing that to you, no. All we want is to have civil conversations. We want to be able to sit there and actually have a talk with people without them getting angry, violent, destroying things and everything else like they do. Like, I find it funny that Starbucks workers will sit there and protest that, oh, hey, they took out pride events or pride this or pride that, but yet the American people who are watching this corruption go on a daily basis won't come together and say, hey, you know what, let's band together and stop the government from causing this infighting, because it is. That's what it's doing. So, that's it for the video. That's it for today's rant, basically. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe. I love how, my channel is growing slowly and steadily, even though YouTube does like to, bomb my channel and, take away quite a bit of my subscribers. But thank you to all those who are subscribed to me, who watch my videos. You guys and gals all rock. And stay free, America. Love you.